Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Closers, where we interview a top performing BDM in the property management space and learn how they are growing their business. Hey everyone, thank you again for joining us for Coffee with Closers. I am very excited to introduce you to the guest we have today, Stephanie McCaa. She is with Your Intown Home Property Management out of Atlanta, Georgia. And as many of you know, we're here at RentScale, we help property managers scale and systematize their sales process when they're looking to add more doors or hire business development managers. But the really cool part about Stephanie's story is that it's different. And she is actually an owner of the company who moved into the sales role and found that she had a love for sales. So with no further ado, welcome Stephanie. And Stephanie, please tell us more about your story.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, Drea. I'm excited to talk about RentScale and ScaleClub and everything that I've been doing with you guys since last June. We're a small company, family-owned company. And as you know, when you start a business, you're wearing multiple hats. And we were getting to a point last spring where we could not keep up with our leads between, handling the leasing and the maintenance and everything else. The leads were falling through the cracks, including some really strong ones that we were just kicking ourselves that we had missed. And so my husband, the other owner of the company, we just said, we've got to make this a priority. And so we decided to really slot me into the business development manager role. And I had had experience in public relations, but I never had direct sales experience. And so we wanted to make sure if we were going to take me out of the leasing and maintenance trenches, to make sure that we were giving me the tools to succeed. And so that's where we came upon RentScale and decided that this was the best path in order to scale up the company and get me trained so that I could be successful in this role.
There's so many people out there that can relate to your experience and where you're at in the company. And if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and tell us why you decided as an owner to also join our ScaleClub.
Yeah, sure. So even though I'd had PR experience, I was a complete newbie in sales. So I had, maybe with beginner's luck, made some sales, but I also realized I was stumbling when objections came up. I was like, pricing, how do I handle that? And so we decided that ScaleClub was a great way to join because for one thing, it's the same time every week. So I know it's on my calendar. I have to prepare for it. I have to be ready to be fully engaged for that 40 minutes. And then I'm taking what I'm learned and I'm being able to directly apply it for the next week. And also there's a lot of accountability. Every time you join in on your meeting, you have to talk about your leads, your visits, your sales consultations. And so that's forcing you even subconsciously to say, I need to be doing this. And so the other thing that really drew me to it was the fact that there are all different levels of experience on the call. So I have people all over the country on that call, but a lot of them have a lot of experience. So they're sharing that experience with me, but they're also learning because they're with some other seasoned people. And it's interesting to see that their challenges are a little different than mine, but we're learning from each other. Interestingly, it's pretty granular, but I feel like I'm hearing this from the other BDMs on my call and just in the industry is I think because the market is so hot, prices are, rents are going up, sales are going up, that owners in my market at least are wanting to squeeze every last dollar out of their property. And so one of the things they're saying is, I want you to show it while I still live here. I want you to show it while my tenants are here. Oh yeah, I'll make sure that I get it painted before the people move in. And one of the things I'm having to learn is to be able to give them the information about why that is not the best way to get someone in faster. I mean, I understand where they're coming from. Why would I wait another month to put it on the market when it's vacant? But that's one of the things that I'm learning is how to deliver the news as a professional and as someone who is recommending suggestions, as someone whose advice they can take. And so that's been a challenge, but it's also really helped me to just stick firm with how we do things, the processes that are going to get the most money for that owner at the best tenants in, and most quickly get them in as well. It has certainly made me more confident. I mean, already just by getting sales tools, but I think it's also made me more confident in standing behind my product and really confirming to me that our pricing, our staffing, our services are really good and something that I should not be afraid to trumpet about, and also should not be afraid to say no when people ask me for discounts or exceptions. It allowed me to say, just most recently I had this where I had someone who asked me about almost every email was about another fee. And I just got to the point where I thought, I'm not going to compromise, because I know that I need to pay my staff, and to keep good staff, I need to make sure that I keep my good team. And she signed the management contract today because I think she just was almost more trying to understand what those fees were instead of just pushing back. So that's helped me in sticking to what I believe is the value that we bring to our clients. I would just say, whether you're new like me, like I was, or you are new to the role but you have sales experience, this is a great place to learn. I didn't even talk about all the other monthly calls and seminars and things that you guys offer, but what is great too is that it's obviously about general sales skills, but you dive in so deep on our industry's special requirements and objections that it really helps you day to day. I even have my little ScaleClub cheat sheet that I've come up with of how to handle objections specific to property management issues that I got from my experience meeting with you guys weekly,
and weekly, and sometimes multiple times
twice a week.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Stephanie.
Thank you.
I sure appreciate it, and all of the wonderful things that you had to say about RentScale, and along with giving other BDMs out there the tips and tricks of the trade in order to be successful. So thank you so much. So many business owners can relate to Stephanie. You're the owner of the company, you're wearing multiple hats, and you reach the point that business development needs to take precedence in order to successfully grow your business with quality versus just allowing things to slip through the cracks, especially really good leads, because you don't have time to follow up. The McCaas made the decision that if they were to move Stephanie out of the maintenance and leasing trenches, then she needed the resources in order to succeed, which is where they found RentScale Valuable. And you can be a complete newbie, as Stephanie says, because with RentScale's thorough playbook, while pairing that with ScaleClub, there is accountability. You are forced to get out of your comfort zone and try new things. And there are all different levels of sales experience within each ScaleClub, and they all still benefit from each other. There is a difference in knowing how to deliver your services, and not just physically, but verbally, as a trusted advisor versus giving in to discounts or compromising fees. Thank you again for joining me, your host, Drea Hessman, on another episode of Coffee with Closers.